speak very loudly today, as I'm in the middle of the United Nations General Assembly. Now, this image might not make for a very convincing background, but I can't show a video because that's not public domain. From March 19th to March 21st, some students participated in the online AmeriMUNC Model UN conference. I found this conference very enjoyable, but some people told me that they prefer not to participate because they find Model UN looks very stressful. My goal for this episode will therefore be to demonstrate that Model UN is really fun, and I think that choosing not to participate is really just missing out on something really enlightening. For this episode, I'm going to be joined by Lain and Jiangfeng from grade 11. So what I'm going to talk about first is the length of the conference, because this tends to be one of the most concerning aspects for future participants.
It took over 3 days and 5 meetings of 2.5 hours each.
We don't have much break between each session. It's quite intense, like from Friday afternoon till Sunday morning.
A Model UN conference is quite a big commitment, and that's not only because of the time you spend at the conference, but because of the time you spend preparing for the conference.
Like you have to do some background research and know what your country stance on this topic would be, and be consistent about it.
Model UN is a learning experience, and I think all of this preparation and time spent both before and during the conference are really worth it because you just learn so much. Model UN is designed to reflect the way things work in real life at the United Nations.
We have debates as well as we draft a resolution, and we try to pass it.
Okay, so there was a lot of Model UN vocabulary in this description, so let's clarify that. A resolution is essentially a decision made by one or multiple countries. The whole concept of Model UN is about making decisions. Where it gets complicated is that because there are so many countries being represented in the UN, everyone wants to be happy. And this can make it rather complicated to make a resolution that everyone wants. Model UN is all about collaboration, and you're encouraged to pass notes and to form alliances so that your resolutions get passed.
We use an app called Slack to pass notes and discuss. Collaboration is key to Model UN, and you can't have anything done by yourself alone.
So, as I was saying, many people choose not to do Model UN because they find it very stressful. And I'm not going to lie, it can be rather stressful to speak in front of such a large audience, though less so online. With that in mind, for both of the guests I have here today, it was either their first or second conference, and they both did exceptionally well.
Most people there was like the third or fourth time, and they already knew what they're doing, they were getting into it, they were starting off, and it was my first time. I didn't know what I was doing. So in the first 2 meetings, I kind of like looked at them and then kind of just took notes and tried to prepare myself for the upcoming ones so I would be more prepared. I found myself getting more confident as the meetings went by, and I found myself participating much more in the last 2 meetings.
Of course, your Model UN experience depends entirely upon the country you choose to represent. Some countries may have more involvement in a certain topic than others.
If you are shy about giving speeches, so maybe you can choose a country that's less involved in the topic.
In the case of Model UN, what you do in the assembly most definitely does not stay in the assembly. What you do during the conference can definitely be applied to many of your courses.
I can use many stuff I learned from my global politics class.
They talked about so many topics, so many relevant topics that are happening right now. It's a great experience. It's a great way to find something you like, because a lot of people do this for a hobby, or they even have something planned in like do a career related to this. So if you're trying to like find what you want to do in the future, or to try to find something interesting, I would definitely recommend it. It doesn't matter that you're shy or you don't participate a lot. Like the amount of stuff you learn from this, it's amazing, incredible.
Normally, the AmeriMUNC conference would take place in Washington, D.C., but we were lucky enough to be able to partake in it online.
I heard from other people saying that, it's better online. We don't have to travel to different cities.
So to conclude this episode, I really do encourage anyone who's interested in politics or diplomacy to give Model UN a try, even if you are shy, and that rhymes, so it must be true.
You can start by joining the Model UN club we have at LCC, and we also have some stimulation of Model UN.
To the guests that appeared in this episode today, thank you so much for having taken the time to promote Model UN. For those of you in the audience, I really do hope to see you at the next conference. Also, if you have had an experience with Model UN or any other club and you'd like to share it, please do let me know. It's very difficult for me to reach out to other students, especially if they're in different grade due to the current situation. But if you tell me that you're interested. I will be more than happy to include you in the next episode.